All right, shalom, most high in Christ, bless, happy Sabbath to all. All right, all praises to the Most High. We made it to another Sabbath. For you folks that are out there that are, just waking up, finding out that you are an Israelite, finding out your nationality. All right, that's the start of it. All praises to the Most High. That's the start. Okay, now after you find that out, you have to operate within certain rules, regulations, and conduct according to the scriptures, according to Christ, in the keeping of the commandments. You have to operate in that fashion, okay? The number one rules right now that we need to speak about, all right, and this is to help brothers and sisters in the truth. I don't care if you've been in the truth 30 years. What you have to realize is that in Israel, this nation is has a lot of it's defected right now. It's just got some problems, okay? And newsflash, yes, because you're coming out of the world. In the world, there's way more problems than it is in Israel. But because of circumstances, because of people going through things, especially in Israel, somehow that makes people minds just, shut down on a certain level. The number one thing you want to remember is the movement itself is way bigger than any one man, any organization, any camp, whatever it is. Now, we are identifying ourselves because we believe in the scriptures and conducting ourselves in a particular manner according to the scriptures. And that's why you see organizations. If you go to any organization, they have a way that they're conducting themselves according to the scriptures, all right? And what you have to realize in the grand scheme of everything, the Most High, when Christ returns, is going to set everything in perfect harmony and order. But still yet, we hear when we read in the scriptures that there's rebels in the wilderness. The Lord is going to return, and there's going to be rebels in the wilderness. Can you believe that? You got folks that's going to go through thermonuclear destruction, walk right through it, get to the wilderness and become a rebel. That obviously shows something. It's a hidden component, how you're supposed to conduct yourself at the base level of our nation. You have to be able to conduct yourself in a certain way. So today's or tonight's topic, of course, understanding tabernacles. Tabernacles is one of the high holy days that you really need to pay attention. Now, you got to ask yourself a question. We just came off of atonement because that's the same month, 10th day of the 7th month. 5 days later, tabernacles. Atonement is set there so you can examine yourself. Now you go into the wilderness. Now you go into tabernacles. Shouldn't you go into tabernacles clean of self, realizing, okay, I know how I got to conduct myself. I know what things should be. You should go right off into tabernacles, all right, with that mind state. We're going to find out in the scriptures, all right? But the point is, never pour out your problems on Israel. That's the key that you have to learn. Because I've been seeing brothers from all organizations all around, and brothers have been reaching out. And because they have had horrible experiences or what type of experiences in different groups or organizations, it's somebody who would probably be in this organization, be like, I had a horrible experience and all this. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. It's you. What you have to realize is you didn't fit right there. That wasn't your fit. Every man has to be persuaded in his own mind. And then you see brothers going to organizations where they believe that they fit in. Sisters too. Oh, I feel comfortable and I fit in here. Okay, well, at the end of it all, it's about making peace with the Most High. And on that day, if one piece of what we are reading is true, you may have some problems because you think it's about exclusively you. The humble person, the person who is humble, He's going to be able to be in harmony according to the scriptures. The person that is not, forget about it. Okay? So, let's open up with Leviticus chapter 23. This is Understanding Tabernacles Part 1. Lord's will, tomorrow we'll have Part 2. But it's so much really in Tabernacles that you have to understand. And it's real simple when you look at Christ. It's got a simplicity to it. Tabernacles is not a camping trip.
Right.
It's not a camping trip.
Right.
You got to realize that, number one, you know, you folks got to realize the Most High has a grand master plan. And the way you are conducting yourself through these high holy days is it will shine a light on the plan. And then you realize, wait a minute. I better be realizing something about these high holy days. It's showing us a manifestation of the kingdom and how you need to be able to conduct yourself in a righteous kingdom. All right. Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 39.
All right. Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 39.
Come on.
Also in the 15th day.
Also in the 15th day, come on.
Of the 7th month.
Of the 7th month. You are in the 7th month. I had a person come on my come in my inbox. Gosh, I tell you one thing, boy. You be fighting not to delete social media because it's just complete madness. The mystique of folks that even was on in Hollywood is gone because of social media. The mystique of the president. You used to have to wait for news to come on to get statements from the president. Not that dummy waking up 2 o'clock in the morning sending tweets and stuff.
Yeah, Twitter.
Yeah, just instantaneous. Somebody you can inbox him. It don't mean he gonna respond, but the point is, it's now put people at a hand's reach. You got to understand that. That wasn't always like that for you young folks. Mm-hmm. You young folks, you had to wait. It wasn't always a cell phone that you could pull out and look at something. Mm-hmm. You had to use a pay phone. Remember that?
Yep. You
had to have some change on you.
Yep. Or a rotary phone, depending on how old you are.
Gosh. The point is, you have to realize what has started to happen. Knowledge is increasing. Things is happening rapidly. Knowledge is increasing both ways in the world, within Israel, getting knowledge. So you're headed for a destination, all right? And now somebody's going, oh, you know what? It's not this is not the 7th month. See, you weirdos out there, you folks who are weird, all right, somehow, magically, you didn't know anything. Before you came in this world, you was a Baptist, pork chop eating fool. You was a Muslim, you was a pork chop eating Muslim. You was a crab and lobster eating Jehovah's Witness. You don't know a damn thing, but yet now you come into the truth and somehow magically you have found out you have the golden ticket. Give me a break. Give me a break, man. The scriptures say that we need to live godly, sober-minded in this present world. Mm-hmm. We're going to live like that. Because now we're stable. We're stabilized. Mm-hmm. The weirdo is going, well, you see, if you add 17 minus 4 and you look at the zodiac sign, then you add that with the Aquarius sign, and then you look at the full moon, and then the full moon becomes the dark moon, and then the dark moon is really just an illusion because that's lights that the white man, who is really the Arab man, put in the skies. And shut up. I'm trying to show y'all something. It sounds comical, but you don't realize how many nut jobs out there. So whose responsibility is it to be stable? Ours. We got to be stable. I don't care what you say. What we're doing is thus saith the Lord God this way. We ain't changing it. Now what? We going as it is written. Now what? All you nut jobs, stay out. I don't care. You got to realize something, y'all. You got to be ready to push this movement by yourself. You got to be willing. You got to be like, I'm going to do it by myself. You have to be in that mind state instead of looking at, oh, let me gather folks. Now the organization is growing leaps and bounds. All praises to the Most High. You new folks are coming in. Folks are learning. People are reaching out saying, hey, this is the truth. I can sense it. I can see it. I can read it. I can touch it. Okay, all praises to the Most High. Now it's time for you to stabilize. The way that you calculate things is according to when the moon comes in. The moon is dark. It starts to increase. All right, that's how we calculate it. We blew up the shofar when the moon came in. We said, oh, okay, it's dark. Blow it up. Blew it up. You count 10 days. From there, you got atonement. What did we do? We fasted for that day from dark to dark. Day starts at dark. Should hit some folks' minds. As we did that, now we counted 5 more days. On Sunday night, we're going to be, Lord's will, in Tabernacles. So you have to realize the way and the system that how the Most High has set it up for us to do this is perfect. You in perfect harmony. You're going to fall in the seasons when the Most High say things should happen. You're going to fall in that. If you're outside of that, you're going to be all over the place. Brother inboxed me a calendar. The calendar said that Passover was in February. Passover was Valentine's Day for him. Madness. 15th day of the 7th month. Come on.
When ye have gathered in the fruit of the land.
So obviously we know something that's important right there. Because you ain't gathering in no fruit in the winter. So you can't have tabernacles dead of winter, man. There's some simple things that should be told. Somebody, oh, no, you know what? Tabernacles really in the winter. They had to build booths because it was cold. You sit in the corner. You're gathering in fruits before that. Read.
Ye shall keep a feast unto the Lord.
Come on.
7 days.
7 days. 7 days for us, folks, is always going to be like an 8-day feast. Because the way that our days start is at even. So you're going to progress it. So it starts, you're going to start it Sunday. When Sunday evening hits, when it gets dark, we are in the first day of Feast of Tabernacles, okay? We're going to read what it is. It's a Sabbath. When the next week falls in, because you're counting, Saturday night will become a Sabbath for you because that day would be now coming in, right. And that would be a Sabbath, okay? So Saturday night, when you look at it, what do you have? A double Sabbath. That's how it falls, okay? So it's simple when you understand the law. We're going to read it. Read on.
On the first day shall be a Sabbath.
You see that? Come on.
And on the 8th day.
Wait a minute. I thought it said to keep it 7 days, boss.
And on the 8th day.
But it's now saying the 8th day. This is why folks don't understand the scriptures, man. You don't understand God's laws. And on the 8th day. Now he's saying 8. Because somebody can pull at it on y'all and say, oh, you know what? That's a contradiction. Shut up. Sit down. Y'all folks got to learn to cut people off, man. Oh, this guy's a nut job. Cut him off. Keep moving. We got a job to do. On the 8th day, come on.
Shall be a Sabbath.
You see, it's a Sabbath. So the first day is a Sabbath, and the 8th day is a Sabbath. For us, it's going to fall into to be a double Sabbath, okay? Does anybody got any questions on that? Because sometimes your mind, when you are, I don't care how long you've been in the truth, if you are not understanding the Most High's laws, you just have brain freezes. Read.
Verse 40. And ye shall take you on the first day the bogs of goodly trees.
So in our history and our heritage, we have land. We have places where we can be at that you can pick these trees. Okay. Read.
Branches of palm trees,
Come on.
and the bogs of fig trees, and willows of the brook.
And what?
And willows of the brook.
Do you think the Most High just giving you specific things to pick? Do you think that's what the Most High does? Now, Most High is an ultimate mastermind. He tell you to get these type of trees and willows by the brook. Come on.
And ye shall rejoice.
And you shall what?
And ye shall rejoice.
And you shall rejoice. I want y'all folks out there, everybody, you bracket that off. You getting all these trees, and ye shall rejoice. Hold that. Let's go to Mark chapter 8. Mark chapter 8. Just to prove some points real quick. You think the Most High just saying, oh, gather trees. This is a similitude, y'all. Even though we have had to do this, it's still showing you something at a high level. Mark chapter 8 and verse 22.
The book of Mark, chapter 8 and verse 22.
22.
22, I'm sorry. And he cometh to Bethsaida.
He coming to Bethsaida, come on.
And they bring a blind man unto him.
And they brung a blind man unto him. Come on.
And besought him to touch him.
Come on.
And he took the blind man by the hand.
Okay. Come on.
And led him out of the town. And when he had spit on his eyes.
He did what?
And when he had spit on his eyes.
You know what? We read something a few weeks ago. It should be your mind should be going, what? I can't believe this. I'm not going to say what it is because you should be studying. Read on.
And put his hands upon him.
Christ put his hands on him. Come on.
And he asked him if he saw aught.
So Christ put in his eyes and he asked him, can you see? Did the Lord need to touch him? He don't need to touch him. He asked him, what you seeing? Come on.
Verse 24. And he looked up and said, I see men.
He see what?
I see men.
Come on.
As trees.
As what?
As trees.
He see men as trees. Read.
Walking.
Does the Lord do anything halfway? No, he don't. He gave him something. Read. This how you know.
Verse 25. After that, he put his hands again upon his eyes.
Come on.
And made him look up.
Come on.
And he was restored.
And he was what?
And he was restored.
And he was restored. His vision was restored. He could see again. Read.
And saw every man clearly.
And saw every man clearly. I hope y'all picking this similitude up. I hope you can pay attention. Read.
Verse 26. And he sent him away to his house.
Come on.
Saying
what?
Neither go into the town.
Don't go to the town. Come on.
Nor tell it to any in the town.
Don't tell it to anyone in the town. Now, they're going to tell you in your commentaries. He said, don't tell them to heal him. Don't tell them you got healed. No. Before that, he gave him something. Gave him insight. That blind man who was able to understand men as trees, the Lord gave him something. He got more than just sight. He got insight. Don't say nothing. Don't tell anyone. Now, you should be picking up. He's seeing men as trees. Then the Lord touched him again. Then he's seen every man clearly. It's just like Israel. We calling everybody. But you better believe when the Lord returns, you're going to know everyone clearly. Just like Paul said, man, I'm going to be known even as, the scriptures is going to be known even as I am known. Isaiah 44. Isaiah 44. Chapter 44 and verse 1.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 44 and verse 1.
Come on.
Yet now hear, O Jacob.
Who?
Now hear, O Jacob,
Come on.
my servant,
Come on.
and Israel, whom I have chosen.
I thought that was everybody.
Whom I have chosen.
Come on.
Thus saith the Lord,
Come on.
that made thee and formed thee from the womb.
So you mean to tell me I can't become an Israelite?
A spiritual Israelite.
I can't be a spiritual Israelite.
No, sir.
I thought I was spiritual Israel.
Well, it says, thus saith the Lord, that made thee and formed thee from the womb.
Gosh. You are born this. Somebody can't be like, well, you know, I became a Hebrew Israelite because, no, you didn't.
But it says it again, though. Isaiah 46 and 3. So we can make sure they have a clear understanding. The book of Isaiah, chapter 46 and verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Hearken unto me, O house of Jacob. It's not everybody.
God.
And all the remnant of the house of Israel, which are born, carried by me from the belly, which are carried from the womb.
Man, ain't no getting around it. But they hate the Old Testament.
Right.
They don't want the Old Testament. We're reading something that's so spiritual what Christ did, but they don't want that.
They don't want
Well, read on.
Okay.
Christ allowed the man to, when he touched him, to see men as trees. That's a very important thing. Read.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 44 and verse 2. Thus saith the Lord, that made thee and formed thee from the womb, which will help thee.
Which will help thee. Which will help thee. You need to have an understanding. That can help you. Read.
Fear not, O Jacob,
Come on.
my servant,
Come on.
and thou, Jeshurun, whom I have chosen.
Come on.
For I will pour water upon him that is thirsty, and floods upon the dry ground.
You realize that statement? Listen. If you woke up and you really got the Spirit on your Lord, say, I'm going to pour water on him that is thirsty. Revive him. Come on.
I will pour my spirit upon thy seed.
Come on.
And my blessing upon thine offspring.
That's us. Come on.
And they shall spring up as among the grass.
Come on.
As willows.
As what?
As willows.
Didn't the Lord tell you to grab some willows?
As willows.
As willows. Come on.
By the water courses.
By the water courses. So you have to realize the Most High has a master plan. He's telling you go grab these trees right here. Mm-hmm. Build these boots. Okay. Let's go back to Leviticus. This is, except the Lord build a house. You are absolutely right. They labor in vain that build it. You can't do nothing. You got to make sure you have the Spirit of Christ. And listen, if you got brothers out there, man, some of you brothers out there is completely not building on Christ, man. You out there using opprobrious words, you cursing, you just being real reckless. I'm gonna be honest, being real reckless. And you know what? You need to be rebuked for it. It's conduct yourself better, man. And what I mean by cursing is talking about speaking ill will to folks. Right. All right. Don't be a silly person and say, oh, well, you know what? Curse, anything can be a curse word. We're talking about speaking ill will, speaking evil.
Or they may say, oh, I may be rude of speech. Twist that scripture.
Yeah, they don't even mean that.
Amazing.
Let's go.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 23 and verse 40.
Uh-huh.
And ye shall take you on the first day the bogs of goodly trees, branches of palm trees,
Uh-huh.
and the bogs of thick trees, and willows of the brook.
Come on.
And ye shall rejoice before the Lord your God 7 days.
And you're going to rejoice 7 days. Come on.
Verse 41. And ye shall keep it a feast unto the Lord 7 days in the year.
Come on.
It shall be a statute forever in your generations.
How long?
Forever in your generations.
Okay, forever. So no, Christ didn't come and say don't do tabernacles.
Right.
It should be done forever in your generations. Read.
Ye shall celebrate it in the 7th month.
See, folks don't realize, we're going to get into this in Lord's Will Part 2, but you don't realize tabernacles in the kingdom.
Yep.
Oh, we're going to prove it. Read.
Verse 42. Ye shall dwell in booths.
Ye shall do what?
Ye shall dwell in booths.
Ye shall dwell in booths. Come on.
7 days.
Come on.
All that are Israelites born shall dwell in booths.
Sir, you mean to tell me we can't have the other nations come and dwell in booths either?
It says here, it clearly says, ye shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israelites born shall dwell in booths.
You know what's significant about this? Let's prove it. Go to Exodus. Hold this. We coming back. Because when you read in 43, it tells you that your generation may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. Let's find out what happened when we came out. Exodus chapter 12, verse 33.
The book of Exodus, chapter 12 and verse 33.
Uh-huh.
And the Egyptians were urgent upon the people
Come on.
that they might send them out of the land in haste.
So the Egyptians was urgent to send Israel out with haste. The Most High had plagued them so bad that they were like, y'all, whatever you get out of here. Move quickly. You don't think Israel's going to be ejected out of the places when the Lord come quickly? Oh, it's going to happen quick. Read.
For they said, we be all dead men.
If y'all stay, if we'll be all dead men, the Lord will kill us because of y'all. Now, now that's why they try to say the God of the Old Testament is the mean
The
God.
mean God, evil God.
Yeah. Because they knew, the Egyptians knew. They said, no, he going to kill us because of y'all. Y'all got to get out of here. So Israel now got to move with haste. Come on.
Verse 34. And the people took their dough before it was leavened.
Uh-huh.
Their kneading troughs, being bound up in their clothes upon their shoulders.
Wow. So you know what month that was in, and you know what high holy day comes from that. Passover. Come on.
Verse 35. And the children of Israel did according to the word of Moses, and they borrowed of the Egyptians jewels of silver and jewels of gold and raiment. And the Lord gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians.
Now, the reason why I said they borrowed, because they're trying to get them out of there. Take whatever you want. Hurry up and leave. Come on.
So that they lent unto them
Uh-huh.
such things as they required, and they spoiled the Egyptians.
Come on. They
And
got
the-
all the spoils. Come on.
And the children of Israel journeyed from Ramesses.
They journeyed from where?
From Ramesses
That city. Come on.
to Succoth.
So what?
To Succoth.
What does boots mean? Succoth. They journeyed to the wilderness. Succoth. Read.
About 600,000 on foot there were men, besides children.
Come on.
And a mixed multitude.
Come on. What?
And a mixed multitude.
It was other nations. A mixed multitude came out in the wilderness where Israel was at. Succoth means boots. That's why you have a feast of boots. He's saying that you can know that the Lord brought you out of Egypt that day. So now, if a mixed multitude came out, why when we read in Leviticus, he say only Israelite born can partake in this feast? Read it again.
The book of Exodus, chapter 12, verse 38. And a mixed multitude went up also with them, and flocks and herds, even very much cattle.
So you mean to tell me you have the mixed multitude has come out of Egypt with Israel, went into Succoth, which is the wilderness, all right? But yet we are celebrating this without the other nations. Let's go back to Leviticus. I don't know. Did we read that right?
I think we did.
Okay.
It wasn't a typo. It was thus saith.
Okay. Yeah, I know we got to obey God rather than man.
Right.
Leviticus 23 and verse 42 again.
Okay. Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 42. Ye shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israelites born shall dwell in booths, that your generations may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God.
I'm the Lord your God. Something got to be wrong. In the New Testament, you're not, everybody's doing boots in the New Testament, isn't that right?
At least that's what we're told.
John chapter 7. John chapter 7.
Right.
Verse 1.
But as our findings will find out in the scriptures, let's find out something different.
Yeah, somebody going to inbox and see we have Christ, brother. We don't need to do that.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Well, evidence is something. The book of St. John, chapter 7 and verse 1. After these things, Jesus walked in Galilee.
Come on.
For he would not walk in Jewry.
Why?
Because the Jews sought to kill him.
Come on.
Now the Jews' feast of tabernacles.
Whoa. What did it call it?
Now the Jews' feast of tabernacles.
Now it's calling it, now you should know why it's saying the Jews' feast of tabernacle. Why? Because only Israelite born can partake in it. So it's exclusive. Now the Jews' feast of tabernacle.
And was Christ from Judah?
Some people say he wasn't. Some people say he was just Hebrew. That was it.
Right, just a Hebrew, right? Should we prove it? Well,
the Bible say prove all things,
prove all
brother.
things, right? Okay. As our findings show here, the book of Hebrews, chapter 7 and verse 14, it clearly says, for it is evident.
For what?
For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah, of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood.
Wow. Certain things are so simple, but yet when you are following man and Christianity, they tear down the most simplest things and they make it into what it's not. That's why no one wants to have that discussion. Does Christianity have paganism within it? Nobody in Christianity wants to have that discussion. No one. Every time we bring it up, pastor, bishop, whoever it is, hey, sir, you want to have a discussion? Christianity has paganism in it. Let's discuss that. Oh, no, you're not going to dictate to us, buddy. We want to discuss Christ. Sir, that is Christianity. We're going to discuss it. Go back to John 7.
Yes, sir. The book of St. John, chapter 7 and verse 1. After these things, Jesus walked in Galilee, for he would not walk in Jewry, because the Jews sought to kill him.
Oh, come on.
Now the Jews' feast of tabernacles was at hand.
Come on.
His brethren therefore said unto him, Depart hence, and go into Judea, that thy disciples also may see the works that thou doest.
Come on.
For there is no man that doeth anything in secret. He himself seeketh to be known openly.
Openly. Come on.
If thou do these things, show thyself to the world.
Come on.
For neither did his brethren believe in him.
So neither did his brethren believe in him. Come on.
Verse 6. Then Jesus said unto them, My time is not yet come, but your time is always ready.
Your time is always ready. Now you got to realize something. They're trying to kill him, so he can't go in there yet like that. He's got to go in incognito. Come on.
Verse 7. The world cannot hate you, but me it hateth.
Come on.
Because I testify of it, that the works thereof are evil.
Are evil. Come on.
Verse 8. Go ye up into this feast. I go not up yet into this feast.
See, he said, I'm not going yet. Y'all go first. I'm not going yet. Come on.
For my time is not yet full
come. It's not time. You know his time was around Passover. So you can count. It's the 7th month. You can count down and realize at this point, he only got a few months left before it really go down. Come on.
Verse 9. When he had said these words unto them, he abode still in Galilee.
Come on.
But when his brethren were gone up,
come on.
Then when he also.
Then what?
Then he went also.
Then what?
Then he went. Then he also up to the feast.
Oh, so Christ went. Christ kept the Feast of Tabernacles.
Then went he also up into the feast.
See, you know, I'm following Christ. You understand? Okay, Christ did Feast of Tabernacles.
Where's your boots at, brother?
A lot of folks have to realize this when you're doing tabernacles, just as what Christ was showing us, all right? It's a high level. And even the evil, they're being evil in the midst of doing tabernacles, which 5 days earlier should have been what? Atonement. They still wicked, man. See, when you keep the high holy days, it helps you get an elevation of understanding the scriptures. You just kept atonement, you fasted for the Most High to hear your prayers, to make atonement. Now, 5 days later, you talking about you want to kill Christ. That's evil, man. Come on. Go back. Let's go. Let me show you something. Go to Numbers chapter 14. This is how Israel is the most funniest acting people, man. One week they can be happy with folks. 1 week you all happy. Shalom. Man, glad to see you. True. The next week, next day, flip out. Man, I don't. Nope. Trying to meet with nobody, man. And call that the devil. Nope. See, be comfortable with yourself, man. Be comfortable with yourself. We made the statements over and over again. No matter where you at, you can't get away from you. You ain't running away from yourself. So if you look at yourself and you got emotional problems and you all broke up, your mind is all over the place, how you going to be stabilized for Israel? You shouldn't even be able to handle. That's why, man, the rule is in effect in all y'all locations, everywhere you brothers and sisters are at. and you're celebrating tabernacles, and you're doing it in spirit and in truth, the minute you see somebody arguing, causing chaos, or whatever, what we want you to do is to tell them to leave. If they do not leave, then you call the police. Come on, challenge us. Come on, challenge us. We're going to turn you over to Satan because you already got the devil on you. We're going to put you right back where you belong. Kick these folks out of there, man. It's not a game. It takes that level for Israel to really get it, because you're a hard-headed, stiff-necked people. You come in there, you're supposed to be rehearsing the righteous acts. Guess what? You don't supposed to go to tabernacles and then complain. You realize that we're going over some things. Mm-hmm. What? Let's get it. Numbers chapter 14, start at verse 1.
Okay. Okay. Numbers chapter 14, verse 1. And all the congregation lifted up their voice and cried, and the people wept that night.
Come on.
And all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron, and the whole congregation said unto them, would God...
Would what?
Would God...
Oh, now you mocking. Would God? Come on.
Would God that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would God we had died in this wilderness?
What they're saying is it's better for us to stay in captivity than to get our own land and to have our own nation. That's what they're saying. Because they uncomfortable. Because they want the cucumbers.
The cucumbers, the melons.
The melons.
The fish.
Yeah. Somebody gonna do that, man.
Somebody gonna say, I want Red Lobster.
Somebody gonna ask for Popeyes.
Yeah.
Somebody gonna want, people gonna want all kind of things. Mm-hmm. You know, back in America, at least we had running water.
Exactly. Yeah, man, I can take me a nice hot shower with my bubbly bath.
Sir, you own this whole lake right here. Well, you know what? So what? But at least we had running water.
Right.
Man, you don't realize what's coming to the earth, man. We are not gonna fall into the same thing again. Mm-mm. The minute somebody murmur, you thinking rebels in the wilderness? Start murmuring, heads off, bam, gone.
No question.
Oh, no questions asked. Slay utterly.
No
You got to, Lord, we got to murmur. Oh, somebody murmuring. Gone. Get him out of there. See you later. Bye. Send his little spirit right up there back to the Most High. Then the Most High come, because we clearing the way. That's what's happening. The way is being cleared for the Most High to hit the earth. Mm-hmm. We're going to hit you in part 2. Mm-hmm. We're going to hit you in part 2 because at the end of the day, you got to realize something. Your code of conduct, your ethics, the way that you are conducting yourself is a representation of how you're going to be in that wilderness. Did Israel, look how Israel did. Now jump down to verse 29.
Right. Verse 29. Numbers chapter 14, verse 29. Your carcasses shall fall in this wilderness.
You're complaining, what did the Lord say?
Your carcasses shall fall in this wilderness.
It's going to fall in the wilderness. Read.
And all that were numbered of you, according to your whole number, from 20 years old and upward.
Come on.
Which have murmured against me.
Yeah. So the Lord said everybody who was 20 years old and up. Why 20? Because 20 is when you're the age of a man or a woman. 20. So 20 and up. The Lord said your carcasses is going to fall. The original people who left the land of Egypt and went into the wilderness, out of all those people we just read that. Let's go back to it. Go back to it. I don't think people realize it.
600,000.
Right? Yeah, let's go back to it.
All right.
What was it, Exodus 12?
Exodus 12. It was 600,000, right?
Let's just get the number to be. We're going to get the number for you.
600,000.
Yep. Verse 37.
The book of Exodus, chapter 12 and verse 37. And the children of Israel journeyed from Ramesses to Succoth.
That's the boots. Come on.
About 600,000.
In the wilderness, 600,000. 600,000. Come on.
On foot that were men beside children.
Beside children. So 600,000 out of 600,000 folks plus that originally came out, 2 families made it. Out of that original group, only 2 families made it. Joshua and Caleb. When you read about them, the Lord said they had another spirit on them. They had another spirit with them. They knew Christ. Everybody else murmuring, complaining. So you folks, when you go into the wilderness, when you practice tabernacles, you're supposed to have on your mind, I'm not going to complain. I'm not complaining. The first person to complain in this wilderness, you got to look at them like, It don't fail every year. You got somebody, a couple, they arguing over Skittles. Somebody arguing who ate my Snicker. Somebody mad. Well, you know, I told you to grab my chair. Tabernacles is not camping. We keep saying that. It's for you to examine yourself to be like, you know what? How would I do if the Lord picked us up and set us in the wilderness right now? How would I have done? I'm gonna tell you right now, there's a couple of folks who we've been doing this for a while. It's a couple of folks who wouldn't have made it.
Yep.
You can't think that you can just sip off a night train and make it through.
Right.
It's not gonna happen.
Right.
It's not gonna happen.
Right. That's right.
You're just not. It's just not. You have to be in the mind state of, okay, let me make sure I'm not complaining about anything. Some ladies is gonna go out there. Oh gosh, bugs. Woo. Who left the bug spray? Bugs, can't help me. I can't take this. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now just put this on in your spirit real quick. Go back to Leviticus.
Okay.
Matter of fact, somebody might give me Judges chapter 8. Judges chapter 8 and verse 16. I just want to prove a point. Because you had a whole men of boots, men of Sukkot. Put this in y'all scriptorial arsenal.
Judges 8 and 16.
Yeah, your mental Rolodex. Come on.
I got you. Judges chapter 8 and verse 16.
Come on.
And he took the elders of the city.
Come on.
And thorns of the wilderness and briars.
So of the wilderness and briars, come on.
And with them he taught the men of Succoth.
So Succoth means boots, but you also understand that it's in the wilderness. Okay? We have to go back to the wilderness.
Back to Sinai, which is a very, very tough terrain. Very tough terrain.
Revelation chapter 12. And verse 14.
The Revelation, chapter 12, verse 14. And to the woman.
And to the woman, which is Israel. In this context, in Revelation 12, it's the Israelites. And to the woman, come on.
Were given 2 wings.
2 wings, come on.
Of a great eagle.
Of a great eagle. You have to remember, our nation went into captivity in 2 parts. All right? Come on.
That she might fly into the wilderness.
So we are in the wilderness now. We're outside of our homeland. So you're in the wilderness now. Think about how much you complain without even doing tabernacles. You're in the wilderness now. You can't complain on doing works of the Most High. Everyone wants to blame something, and the blame that's happening a lot right now is they'll go, you know what? It's camp. It's a camp. These camp Hebrew Israelite camps. Somebody, whoever says that, just block them, get them out of your face, do whatever it is, because they showed you they don't know nothing. There's no such thing as a Hebrew Israelite camp. It's no such thing. It's the Israelites who have formed organizations behind Christ as a whole, period. The organizations that they have formed have names which will not continue in the kingdom. You will be known as an Israelite. But because you're drinking water, that water bottle needs a label on it, sir, so that you can know what to trust. You understand? You ain't going to just pick up a random bottle outside with no name on it and just start to drinking. It has a label on there so you can know, oh, alkaline water made by this person, okay, by this company. Okay, this is something I can drink. But you have folks that are blaming organizations and grouping it together. That shows you they're playing their part, number one, because they have no understanding of how the movement works. In this organization, we're not going to attack a group or organization of people behind anything, because we know let every man be persuaded in his own mind. You do what y'all doing. We're doing what we're doing. That's the level of knowledge you have to have. And when you read in Isaiah 52:8, the Lord's going to bring everything together in that wilderness. Read.
The Revelation, chapter 12, verse 14. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle.
Come on.
That she might fly into the wilderness.
Come on.
Into her place.
Into her place. Come on.
Where she is nourished.
Where's what?
For she is nourished.
So you don't think that this is nourishing us? This place is nourishing us. Israel is now rising, appreciating the Most High for doing what he did for us, even appreciating put us in captivity. Because had it not been for captivity, how could you lay claim that you're an Israelite? You'll be destroyed, man. If you couldn't go to Deuteronomy and show slavery, goodbye. If you couldn't go in the book of the Bible and show that the Israelites was cursed people and had to go into slavery, goodbye. So guess what? Thank you. The so-called white man, thank you. Elam, thank you. Ishmael, thank you. You just played your part, and now we realize that, and now we reactivate it. Read.
For a time.
For what?
For a time.
Come on.
And time.
Come on.
And half a time.
This is how you know that we was divided off in time frames into this captivity, man. Come on.
From the face of the serpent.
From the face of the serpent. He thinks we believe that we're African American now. He think we believe that his way is right. Yep. You have some folks like that. You wearing your little suits, your penny loafers, and everything. You're into madness. But at the end of the day, they're coming out though. Brothers are now going, what? Yeah, I'm still fresh, but I guess what? Shing, fringes up underneath this junk. So no. But you can't blame and start murmuring and complaining and everything else when it comes time to do the commandments in Christ or to receive correction. That's the number one thing that people complain on when you get corrected. You should love correction. You should train your mind to go, you know what, correct. Boy, the reproofs and instructions of the way of life, I love this. Right. Man, I got corrected today, and I realize how I have to do this. Man, all praises. It's the highest form of returning back to keeping the commandments in Christ when you get correction. Because we were all idiots. We was all ignorant. We was sitting in the churches while they was cooking pork in the back, man. We was going to pastor breakfast and lunch and everything else, and they was putting bacon on stuff. You realize that?
Having fish fries on the Sabbath.
You kicking crabfish in the church.
Crab fest.
Yeah, all kind of things. All right? You passing out for brothers in Jehovah's Witness. You passing out pictures with false images on there. You carrying the Watchtower magazines, man.
Those comic
You
books.
got false images out there pushing, stomping the streets. You pushing a false image. So at the end of the day, everybody has to be held accountable and come out of that madness. This is what it's all about. But you have to receive correction. No one is above correction, man. Correct me all day. I learned to love it. But when it comes down to it, you better prove stuff out of the scriptures. If you don't, you're finished. This woman, all right, was in the face of the serpent, where this serpent is casting out lies, man. But the Bible promised the earth, man, righteousness is going to come from heaven, man. The earth's going to help the woman, helping Israel. Righteousness, brothers, is popping up everywhere. I don't know if people realizing this. You better realize it. Brothers is popping up everywhere. Organizations is popping up. What I look at, I don't look at it going, oh, you know what, another group. No. Do it. Let everybody spawn up. But you better be pushing Christ into keeping of the commandments, man. Back to Leviticus. We just in part 1. You got to learn how to conduct yourself. Lord's will tomorrow, 5:15, part 2. Leviticus chapter 23, 43.
Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 43. That your generations may know that I made the children of Israel
Come on.
to dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God.
What? The God ain't playing games? I'm the Lord your God. Read.
And Moses.
What?
And Moses.
Come on.
Declared unto the children of Israel the feast of the Lord.
Moses declared it. Moses wasn't playing. Moses was faithful in all his house, man. Just as Christ, now the next mediator, faithful in all the house. For part 2, man, we're going to show you Lord's will, man. The Lord's allows us to do it. We're going into the wilderness. We talking about the Leviathan.
Oh, yeah.
We talking about the war leading into the wilderness. We talking about the mind state of how people need to be. Lord's will, you tune in, okay? And find out what is going to happen. What does the Bible say is going to happen? See, we're going to obey the Most High rather than man. The book of Acts, chapter 5 and verse 29.
The book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men.
If you're a disciple, apostle of Christ, or whatever you want to call it, guess what? You better realize within your spirit, man, you have to follow the Most High in Christ, period. And don't follow man at all. As it is written. We can't think above that which is written. Lord's will, tune in tomorrow, 5:15. Lord's will. We're going over the rest of this, okay? Y'all have a happy Sabbath. Shalom, Most High in Christ bless y'all, okay?
Most High Christ
Shalom.
bless. Shalom.